Right, so we get lots and lots of questions, in fact.
Loads.
About
well,
rigs
you do,
and
I
things
don't.
about what rigs we use. So we're going to do 2 different videos. A quick one, so for me, I'm going to talk about my 3 rigs for this year. I mean, 3 pole rigs. There have been a couple of other little ones that have been quite good with it.
Quite a few pennies on these this year, haven't you?
They've been a bit, one of them in particular has been rather good to me this year.
And they're going in my box after this, folks.
Well, no, yeah, I want a quick run through of the 3 rigs that for me this year, pole fishing wise, they've done everything for me.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's all fishing the big carp venues that I've gone to, chasing these silly matches all the time.
And I think it's one of them for you, obviously. You've touched on it before with your rigs. You don't complicate anything, do you?
No.
You have
Everything
literally like your carbon ones and your wire ones and your glass ones and the same board, and that's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
You just
5
stick
floats
with
pretty much does everything. Yeah, it's a style of shotting and what you're using it for. Thank you, darling. That means everything, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, I'll start with that one. So definitely the first rig for me, and it's probably the one that's most applicable now, isn't it? It's my short
definitely.
line, my short pellet line.
I suppose it's more sort of your traditional Chianti style of float, isn't it?
Yeah, dead similar. Exactly the same. Carbon stem. Yeah,
so when you've been using it, you've been using like pellets on this and everything,
I've been using that. That is my float for, like in that case, it's a 416s.
You're getting rich.
That'd be my my choice of float for my short line with pellets in, depending on the weather, between 4.5 and 6.5 foot.
Right, okay.
4.5 and 6 foot.
And how are you shot it? Are you shotting it differently for different baits? Or
No,
how are you shotting
no.
it?
So I'm really keen on this line. Your short line, 90% of the time it's on a slope. I mean, at the venues I fish, it's nearly always on a slope, which I'm on. So because you're fishing on a slope and the bottom's going away from you, what you want to do is when you lay your rig in, because you're laying it away from you as a rule, so you put it deeper water to shallow water, so it swings in. Your rig isn't in a straight line. Yeah, your rig actually curls away from you down the slope, so it's on a bit of an angle, so you can hold it back, keep it nice and stable where you want it to be. The only way you can achieve that, the only form of shotting, is having a spread bulk. Because if you have a spread bulk, then it creates that nice little curve all the way down the slope. Yeah. I mean, your shot's almost tapered sort of thing. I mean, it's nicely through your rig. So I shot that, that's a 416s, I shot that with 7 number 8. I mean,
just from like 6-inch up length?
Yeah, starting top of my 6-inch up length. And then every...
Are you one of the, if it's deep in the water, you go like a little bit further with the shots and that?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about as well. You'll see that every single one of my rigs, in my box, not a single rig has shot on it. Yeah, because I'm very lucky, all the matches that we fish, because the big ones...
He swallows them all. Have you seen him put shots on folks like... and then bites them all on, didn't you?
Rattle, yeah. Lead poisoning, a distinct possibility. But I can shot that, when I plumb it up, like I say, I might use a 416s from 4.5 foot to 6.5 foot. I mean, I don't want that shotted for a 6 foot peg. I mean, shotted at home and then use it for a 4 foot peg. Does that make sense? Just because it'd be too condensed or too spread out.
Yeah, no, mate, understand.
So I'd rather, the way I get my rigs out is I literally get my rig out, put the hook length on that I want to use for whatever situation I'm in, plumb up, find the depth, then shot it up.
And then you put your shots on.
Yeah, because that way it's perfect for that rig.
I don't think anyone, I've never known anyone else do that. No. Everyone shots the bigs first, don't they?
Yeah, it's just time, isn't it?
Yeah,
but again, that comes into why I use such a small amount of floats, because I use just 5 or 6 floats.
Yeah, and it's confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, you get to know your floats intimately.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can put, you know what I mean, I'm hitting the bar.
Give me a little tickle.
Yeah, just little friends. But yeah, that has been, without doubt, a nice, robust, it's got a 2mm bristle on that one.
I'm going to say it's a proper thicker bristle than what you get on your traditional like Chianti ones.
2mm hollow
I'll show you mine in a bit, folks, cheeky, and my bristle's a lot finer than that. But it's different purpose.
That suits the type of fishing that we'll touch on in a bit. That's been my big pellet, my 6 and 8mm pellets.
Nice.
Positive rig, because it's stability, everything's about holding it there. I've been showing a lot more bristle this year as well. I mean, with big baits, I'm showing what?
Normally, you'd be like, literally, sort of like 2mm of it, wouldn't you? Thinking
I'll give it 10mm at least now, 10,
really?
15. Just say, wait.
You've changed, man. You've changed since winning all these big checks.
But it's big carp fishing that's changing.
Yeah, mate, definitely.
It's patience sitting there waiting.
You know when there's one in your peg as well, don't you, with having that much bristle out?
Yeah.
Because you tell, like, your bristle will start, your float will be starting moving slowly.
Yeah.
And as you all know how we plumb up, you know, if the plumbing's right, the proper bite is that nice, quick.
Yeah, you get a really, really good bite. It stops you striking that bite, doesn't it?
Definitely.
When you're fishing for carp that are this big, the last thing you want to do is up one in the boat.
Do you not think it's dead hard though when you're used to fishing for like roach and
horrible, yeah.
And then you come to carp, you're like striking everything, but you're like, no, you just got to be patient.
You've just got to sit and wait for the Houdini back.
Right, that's going in there, mate. Come on, another one. Come on, what's the next one?
That's my favourite. Next one's dobbin rig.
Let's have a look.
You know what I mean? Dead simple.
Yes.
I'll tell you what's worth touching on as well. Every single one of my rigs is the same line-wise. Yeah, I've got 018 main line.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How are you going to change through the winter? You're going to go down to 15 or 16 or something, or
maybe on the really delicate rigs, yeah.
When it was like proper gin clear.
When it's rock bottom, when we shouldn't be going fishing.
0.14 and
Not even that low, no.
Would you
know
not?
what I mean? 014 half, 016.
You have
016
changed,
pretty
mate.
much. Mainline doesn't matter, does it?
No, definitely
It
not.
stops them tangling.
It's that bit in it, yeah.
And just keeps them nice. So yeah.
Yeah.
But so these are nice and positive. These
I love this
these
kind of
0.18.
shape of float myself, mate.
You do, they're derived from something that you came up with a long time ago. Then my mate Tim Moores makes them for me, as he makes all of me floats.
Yeah, man.
But they're me. I have two floats. I have my caster shallow floats, which are very little delicate diamonds
yeah.
that I've shown before. They're my pellet shallow floats.
So is this what you've been using for like your mugging and all that?
Yep.
Shots under the float,
Yeah.
meter a line and all that?
Exactly that, yeah. I'll have them in a 0.1, a 0.2 and a 0.3.
Yeah.
0.1s are for when you're fishing shallow and you're slapping, you're actually fishing shallow. 0.2s are for nice conditions mugging when there's no wind and you can put out the fish. And a 0.3, which I very rarely use, is for just a really heavy swinging rig, probably anything like that.
Yeah.
But mate, a short stubby float with a positive bristle again, that's a 2.2mm bristle. So really something that you're going to stand out, and it'll allow me to fish whatever bait I want.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can put an 8mm pellet on, or I can put a 4mm pellet on. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
My float's capable of supporting
You've won
that.
some pennies on that this year.
Yeah,
mate,
really simple. So shot in for that, simple as it comes. Let's see, if I'm fishing shallow, slapping, I tend to have a bulk on top of 6-inch hook length, which is quite unusual for shallow fishing, the 6-inch hook length, but it's carp.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't use that for F1s. This is for carp fishing when it doesn't really matter.
It's got to be not girly. It's just got to look a lot more natural, ain't it, for them?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be, well, still am a massive believer in using a lot longer hook lengths for carp as well and fishing on the bottom. You know, 10, even 12-inch.
Yeah.
But since fishing with you a bit more, my opinion on it's changed.
On the deck's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah, but for shallow, 6-inch hook length with a bulk on top of my hook length, and then whatever depth I want to be.
Yeah.
Or all my shot under my float.
Yeah.
If I'm mugging, everything goes under the float and I'll set it to whatever depth. Normally 12, 15 inch seems to be the optimum mugging depth, doesn't it?
It's lovely.
And I will not have a shot anywhere other than under my float.
Yeah.
Just a bulk of
It's
whatever.
It's like when you're waggler fishing, isn't it? When you get that double plot, when you see it going in, your pole's low, and you just see your float coming in like that, and you get that dink. It's just,
It's mega, mate. I
Not
don't
like
think we're going to mug anymore now. I think that's it.
I don't know, I think
No more muggers this
possible.
year.
We've seen one, haven't we?
We've seen one,
It's
but
in my peg.
we'll see. So
Right, that's going in. Cheers, mate. Next.
that's been my best rig. Last one.
Go on, mate.
This has been my best rig by a million miles.
Is this the one?
This is the Bitter Boy. It's the one.
Is this the big check one?
We touched on we went through properly
Tell you what.
in Winning Ways the other week, didn't we, up at Larford?
I was gutted I couldn't get my peg to plumb up right, because I knew
To have a go of it.
I knew I'd catch on it, but it's just one of them things.
It was scary, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think it's not just the rig, it's understanding
It's the feeding
how the fish
thing
feed.
and how they're feeding.
Yeah, how they come in. But changing from that particular venue with that particular rig, so we're on about Larford on both banks, where you've got a margin that goes to nothing.
Yeah.
So there's no shear, and you're not fishing against anything. There's always water past your float, doesn't it? It goes up to nothing. That's where it seems to be key. And by fishing a little 4x10s or 4x12s, say slim carbon stem floats, the same style of floats I use for my short line. So
So it's
shanty
pretty
style
much
float.
identical to the larger one that we just had, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Float wise, it is. It's just the same float, just 4x10. So it's nice and robust, 2mm bristle. And I have that shotted. I'll have to talk about shotting up. When I have it shotted, I have it shotted with just number 11 spread all the way through. I have 5 number 11s spread through my entire rig. Again, to create a nice curve. So I've got no lump of shot that wants to be directly beneath my float. So it curves all the way down. But it's fishing it over depth. So I'll fish that rig.
And what
was the average depth?
It was like a float length over depth, wasn't it? Something
Yeah,
like
probably.
that, or
In 18 inches, you're fishing 24
the key
inches
there,
over
though, as you
depth.
touched on it in the last episode, was plumbing up right, wasn't it? Because of all the rocks and everything. I just didn't have that.
No.
I plumb up there, and I'd literally go like 4 inches away, and it'd come up like.
It's like on bricks and things
Yeah,
like that.
it's horrendous.
Yeah,
mate.
you need something a bit smoother.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's fishing that rig over depth with that curve. And as you're sitting on your peg, you've got your edges this way. It's understanding which way the fish are coming in from.
Yeah.
Because for years and years and years, I'd always lay my rig out into deeper water and pull it in, which most venues, that's the way the fish come in. I'm definitely noticing so much more now that many venues, they come in that way. They actually come in from the next peg. They must come into the next pallet and then come down.
Just like nail everything and then
bait.
just go into the
Well,
next
I think they know if they feed over the main bed of bait, that's where they're most likely to get caught. Because you often catch 1 or 2 over the bait straight away, and then that's when they start coming in.
Start going iffy.
So they know to pick up them bits.
It's when, obviously, as you say, they're blowing the bait around as well. Obviously, when that fish is hooked.
Yeah, it goes, and they know to feed on that because it's safe.
Yeah.
So if you can make your bait become one of them by fishing over depth, so my float still goes over my pile. When I put my pile in down the edge, my float's right over it, but that with that curve, because I'm 6, 8, 10 inches over depth in some cases, my hook bait's 10 inches
It's
past.
on, the fish is on, and it doesn't realise it, does it? It's still nom, 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 still feeding on all the other particles.
Yeah, you just get these little weird, like, slow bites, and it's on.
And you never lose it. It's always on, isn't it? It's always well hooked.
Always in the mouth. You don't strike any foul hookers.
No.
Very, very few foul hookers.
Which, to be honest, like how we've always talked about before, is fishing really positive rigs, which I'll show you in a bit. That's what we've always done in the past, isn't it? To eliminate the liners. But this is a completely different way of fishing.
It's clever.
We don't want loads in the peg or anything, do we? Just like picking out that one fish coming in.
Yeah, sneak them out. I think what you said about them positive rigs, I think at many venues, maybe it's this time of year when they've been caught.
Yeah.
They don't like that straight, tight line in the water either, above your hook bait. So as soon as they touch that line and your hook bait's right below it, they're off.
You just get that big bow wave.
Yeah, they don't settle in your peg. Whereas that rig, fishing over depth, which isn't something I do very often, that's been key for me this year, fishing that nice little delicate one with whatever kit's required. Same again, to 18 line on that one.
What, like 0.16 up lengths, 3-4 inches or something? Yeah,
pretty much 0.16. Yeah, a short hook length on that. I fished there, a 4-inch hook length on that. My first shot's probably 5 or 6 inch.
So as soon
as it doesn't matter.
You get that little ding.
You've got the curve anyway. Something that's been really important is a heavy hook bait. So double or single corn.
Right, okay.
It lets me, because when I lay my rig out, I actually pull it towards me, so my float's like on that sort of angle. So I'm just holding it, but I'm holding it against my hook bait. Not really tight, so it's a straight line. Just taut.
So you know straight away when a fish is dislodged, don't you?
Instantly,
you just get that little.
Hold your bite to that, and you whack it.
What's going on? Where am I going? And what am I doing in the landing there?
Yeah, they just shake their head because they don't get caught.
No, they don't.
They just think this isn't meant to have a hook in it.
And they don't really fight that hard either, do they? Because like, I'm not supposed to be getting caught.
You can get a head start on boards. That rig, without doubt, won me 50 grand in Golden Hill this year.
That one's definitely going in my box.
Oh, it is.
Cheers, mate. That's me done. I might just talk about your rigs again then with mine.
Right, yes, I best make some more up there, don't I?